Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Good morning on this beautiful day that the Lord has made. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari. Close the door. Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Kunja Bihari. You wanna sing with me? Come. You do the first line, ready? Jaya Radha Come over here. Jaya Kunja Bihari. And again.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
One more time. Jaya Jaya Kunja
Kunjabihari.
Very good. Thank you so much. Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Shri Radha Damodara Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vivajakacharya Astottara Satya Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vivajakacharya Astottara Satya Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Goswami Maharaja Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto. Oops, oh my God. Give me a second here. 7th canto, chapter 12. What is it? 16. The perfect society. 4 spiritual classes. So text number 16 says, Evam vido brahmachari vanaprasto yatir grihi charan vidita vigyanaha param brahmadi gacchati. Evam vido brahmachari vanaprasto yatir grihi charan vidita vigyanaha param brahmadi gacchati. Evam vido brahmachari vanaprasto yatir grihi charan vidita vigyanaha param brahmadi gacchati. Would anyone else like to recite the verse?
Evam vidho brahmachari vanaprashto yatirgahi charan vidita vigyana param brahmadi gacchati.
Thank you, Prabhu. Radha, you want to try? All right. Word for word translation says, Evam vidaha, in this way, brahmachari, whether one is a brahmachari, a vanaprastaha, or one is in the vanaprastha ashrama, yatihi, or in the sannyasa ashrama, grihi, or in the grihastha ashrama, charan, by practice of self-realization and understanding of the absolute truth, vidita vijnanaha, fully conversant with the science of the absolute truth, param, the supreme, brahma, the absolute truth, arigachati, one can understand. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By practicing in this way was described in the last verse, really nice verse, of course, basically saying that one should be conscious of Krishna. By practicing in this way, whether one be in the brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, or sannyasa ashrama, one must always realize the all-pervading presence of the Supreme Lord, for in this way it is possible to understand the absolute truth. Purport. This is the beginning of self-realization. One must first understand how Brahman is present everywhere and how he is acting. This education is called Brahma Jigyasa, and it is the real concern of human life. Without such knowledge, one cannot claim to be a human being. Rather, he remains in the animal kingdom. As it is said, Sa eva go karaha. Without such knowledge, one is no better than a cow or an ass. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Paramami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So again, Srila Prabhupada's translation of the verse says, by practicing in this way, whether one be in the brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, or sannyasa ashram, one must always realize the all-pervading presence of the Supreme Lord. For in this way, it is possible to understand the absolute truth. Jai. In Srila Prabhupada's short purport, he makes an important distinction between human life and animal life. Prabhupada does this a lot throughout all of the books. And here he says, you cannot claim to be a human being without such knowledge. So perhaps we haven't considered it from this angle before. Can I claim to be a human? I'm certainly walking the walk and talking the talk. I've got this fleshy suit on, but does that mean I'm actually a human being? Or, as Prabhupada would frequently call, a royal edition of the animals. Royal edition of the animals means doing the same things animals do, but in a complicated way. Radha, what do animals do? Can you guess? What are 4 things that all animals do?
Eat,
Yes?
sleep,
Sleeping. Ooh, there's a nice pretty animal over there. Let me go and do it, friend.
fall in love.
Fall in love. Mating.
There's also one other thing they do.
What?
Use the bathroom.
Yes. And they fight over a little bit of space to live. Right?
Yes.
If 2 birds are on the same branch, then they have to have a fight over it. Isn't it? 2 dogs are walking down the same street, they have to start fighting each other. So these are the 4 things that animals do. And if humans do it in the exact same way, well, if humans do those same things, but in a more complicated way, then it's not any different. We cannot claim to be human. Claiming to be human means atato brahma jigyasa, to ask, what is the absolute truth? To inquire, what is the nature of the Supreme Lord? How do I serve Krishna? Otherwise, what's the point? Just complicated animals. Prabhupada went to MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Famous school in America, of course, for, well, technology, produces a lot of new technologies. They do incredible research. You know, if you're a graduate from MIT, you're a shoo-in for all sorts of incredible tech jobs. And he went and he spoke there before some of the students and faculty members at MIT. And he asked them, where is the technological department which is investigating the difference between a dead man and a living man? He asked these people. And Prabhupada's point was, this is the most pressing issue. You know, technology is meant to solve some problem, to send information faster than ever before, though there's no consideration of whether or not that information deserves to be sent faster than ever before. Everyone's just fixated on sending it faster, but not really questioning, what is that information we're sending anyway? Does it even deserve to be sent at lightning speeds. The CEO of NVIDIA, they make computer chips. He was speaking some time ago about their latest computer chips and using these terminology that I don't really understand. So many tetraflops of data sent at speeds. Now they have these computer chips that don't just use signals through electrons, but literally through light. So he's saying now we can process information at the speed of light. They're developing these new chips now. But nobody ever asks, what is that data that needs to be sent so fast and why? What is all this technology for? Just to send pictures of cats across the universe at the speed of light. I mean, pictures of cats would be great if it were only pictures of cats, but unfortunately it's pictures of so many other things. So Prabhupada asked at MIT, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where is the technological department which is investigating the difference between a dead man and a living man? Where's that technology? That's what you should actually be inquiring about, not just how to download things faster. Prabhupada said that when a man dies, something is lost. Where is the technology to replace it? Why don't scientists try to solve this problem? Because it is a very difficult subject matter, they set it aside and busily engage in the technology of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. However, the Vedic literatures inform us that this is, what does Prabhupada call it? Animal technology. Our Srila Prabhupada, the flawless wordsmith, who's coined 100 phrases, 100 phrases that should enter into the public vernacular. Animal technology. Animal technology just means, Balaram Baba, you gotta hear this. Prabhupada says, when a man dies, something is lost. Where is the technology to replace it? Why don't scientists try to solve this problem? Because it is a very difficult subject matter, they set it aside and busily engage in the technology of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. However, the Vedic literatures inform us that this is animal technology. So let us help the people of the world to realize this phrase coined by Srila Prabhupada. Animal technology just means how to make eating, sleeping, mating, and defending even more complicated. Now we can do it faster than ever before. You can go through a partner faster than ever before. Why have a lifelong relationship? Have 5 or 6 in one lifetime. Have 10 or 20. We can do it faster than ever before. Why only eat the food that's locally grown in your area? Eat something that comes from the other side of the world. It should get there faster than ever before. Never mind what cost to the human labor market or to the environment. Faster, faster, faster. This is animal technology, according to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada continues saying, animals are also trying their best to eat well, to have an enjoyable sex life, to sleep peacefully, and to defend themselves. They're also trying. They're trying their best. We think, no, I'm different from the animals because I'm using all of my intelligence to eat and sleep and mate and defend. I'm much smarter than them. They just mate with whatever creature is closest. They just eat whatever they can find. I'm very different. I'm trying my best. Prabhupada says, no, they're also trying their best. Should we sympathize? We want someone to sympathize with us. I'm really trying my best to fulfill my animal needs. Give me some sympathy. So are the animals. They're very concerned, always looking. Where's something to eat? Sniffing in the air for some fertile mate. They're always trying to. What then is the difference between man's knowledge and the animal's knowledge? The fact is that man's knowledge should be developed to explore that difference between a living body and a dead body. So that's the Brahma Jigyasa, as Prabhupada saying in this purport of Srimad Bhagavatam. This education is called Brahma Jigyasa, and it is the real concern of human life. Without such knowledge, one cannot claim to be a human being. Of course, preaching to the converted here, we're all convinced, although it's helpful to be reminded. There's a reason why Prabhupada says these things over and over and over again. It's not to belittle us, demean us, but to remind us, because our tendency is to forget. We can slip back into the default mode of just trying to get the same thing that the animals get, but with so much extra effort. Lord Rishabdev says, Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam, shudyad yasmad brahma sokyam tvanantam. Rather, in this human form of life, we're meant to do divine austerity, tapo divyam. Do something for Krishna, even if it's very difficult, even if it's very challenging. Better if it's very difficult and very challenging. This is what purifies our animalistic propensity. Of course, we all know this, having signed up to be Hare Krishnas, right? You know this, Radha?
Yes.
Very good. We know that human life is meant for more than just eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So that's why we should take advantage of any opportunity we have to remind others as well, to demonstrate a spiritually progressive lifestyle, which is dedicated to Brahma Jigyasa, spiritual education, to demonstrate it, to encourage others, to support them in their doing it. In fact, that's the whole purpose of the Varna and Ashrama system, which is described in this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Prahlad is speaking about it. Is it Prahlad? Well, I can't even remember now. Yeah. That's the whole purpose, is to facilitate spiritual progress. Yayata mam prapadyante, literally forward stepping. Krishna says, as all step forward towards me, as they, prapadya ante, as they take steps towards me. So part of those steps is the Varnashrama system. And in this summary verse, it's saying that whether one is a brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha, or sannyas, everyone must be Brahma Jigyasa, inquiring about the absolute truth. Of course, for us devotees, that means inquiring, what service can I do? And helping others to learn what service they can do for Krishna. That should be our daily inquiry. What can I do for Krishna? In fact, His Holiness Devamrita Swami writes in the Bhakti Bhava book, wonderful little book, he says, what can I do at this moment to please Krishna? To make a habit of this question is to grant a glimpse into Vrindavan. This isn't basic level stuff, even though Prabhupada says this is the difference between a human being and animal, Brahma Jigyasa. This is also happening up in the spiritual dimension, Brahma Jigyasa. What can I do? Jigyasa, this inquiry. What can I do at every moment to please Krishna? That's all they're doing in Vrindavan. And so that should be our regular inquiry. When we chant japa, ideally, first thing in the morning, we should be inquiring, Krishna, how can I serve you? That's what that means. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It means, Krishna, what service can I do for you? How can I be engaged in service today? This is Brahma Jigyasa. And without that, what is it we're doing? Complicated animal technology. I love this so much. Animal technology. Maybe we should put that on another t-shirt as well. Balaram Bhav's making so many wonderful t-shirts. He made one that says failure at material enjoyment, since that was a theme of some of Devamrita Swami's lectures recently. We should make something about animal technology as well. You tell Miss Bindapudi next time you meet the president of Penn State. Say, this is all animal technology. Real technology is to inquire into the absolute truth, to realize the difference between the body and the soul, how to connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not just to make computer chips that send information at the speed of light, connecting one cat picture with somebody on the other side of the world, but rather how to connect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have a lot of work in front of us to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, to help others, to remind others, to inquire about the absolute truth. Brahma Jigyasa. And that's why Prabhupada worked so hard to produce these books, because on every page it is Brahma Jigyasa. It awakens that propensity for Brahma Jigyasa, inquiring about the absolute truth. And without that, many people will never do it. It's not something that's taught in school or in university, as Prabhupada is saying. I went to MIT. This is one of the top technology schools in the world, and asked, where is that class which teaches the difference between the body and the soul? Do you have that class? No, they do not. Even at Penn State, we had a student, a very regular at the Bhakti Yoga Center, who's recently graduated, and she was in the philosophy course. And I asked her, what are the sort of things they're discussing in philosophy? Now they have meta philosophy, where you're talking about those who talk about philosophy, because they've given up on theism. As many of you know, historically, the universities have abandoned theism. His Holiness Sri Ananda Goswami gives a very nice explanation as to why that is, really coming all the way out of the Middle Ages in Europe, and the kind of the split between the Catholic Church and its theocracies. And anyway, and then the universities went a different course. And so in the philosophy courses at Penn State, there is no discussion of theistic philosophy. It's basically not allowed. And so they'll do meta philosophy. This is a real term. Inquiring or discussing, having discussions about those who have discussions about philosophy. That's like the new level of philosophy that you need to be getting into if you want to write papers and get some funding and still be relevant. There is no Brahma Jigyasa. What is the difference between the body and the soul? They've completely given up. When they come in contact with Srila Prabhupada's books, then Brahma Jigyasa immediately happens. It's very easy, as many of us experienced. It immediately inspires Brahma Jigyasa. Therefore, we need to get Srila Prabhupada's books into people's hands. Prabhupada's realizing the urgency of that, spent sleepless nights translating, producing his books, so that this human purpose could be fulfilled. The missing ingredient in human society. This is Brahma Jigyasa, and Prabhupada, seeing that so clearly, sacrificed sleep, his personal well-being, so they could get the books out fast. There's something that actually deserves to be sent very quickly. All these IT guys are so worried about how to send information faster than ever before. Well, here's something that really deserves to be sent out as fast as possible. And hence, the devotees who served in the BBT at the time of Srila Prabhupada's manifest pastimes in this world, they were working very hard and very fast. Like His Holiness Devamrita Swami, Srila Gurudev, who was famously part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon to produce the entire text in, I can't even remember how fast it was. I think it was 6 months to make all of the 18 volumes, however many volumes. Very fast. Because there's an urgency there. And Prabhupada gives an analogy to describe this urgency of inspiring people to inquire about the absolute truth. Bye. What do you want? Yeah, go ahead. He gives us an analogy in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that if your neighbor's house is burning down, you do anything you can to get a message to them, even if you don't speak the same language. And even if there's some flaw in the way that you speak to that person, still you do anything you can to make clear to them, your house is on fire, get out. So Prabhupada said similarly, this human society is on fire. It's burning. That you can see every day. Unfortunately, we can see every day, anytime you turn on one of your devices. The bad news is apparent. Human society is on fire, and many people are really asking, how long is this going to last? Before the institutions that we previously took for granted completely crumble, and we just go back to the animal life, but without animal technology, just really degrade. How long is this going to last? Human society is on fire. as evidenced by suicide rates, rates of ecological destruction, um, war against civilians. Dev Swami was talking about this when I was driving him back from DC. I think he spoke about it in some lectures as well. That this is how degraded even war can become more degraded. Where now, when one country wants to attack another country, they don't even bother to attack another country's army. What's the point? That doesn't make enough news. That doesn't have enough of an effect. You just immediately go for civilians. This has become standard practice now. Just immediately attack civilians if you want to have an effect. If you want to pressure that other country to surrender, you don't attack combatants. Countries would love that if their own armies were decimated. So if you want to have an effect, you have to attack civilians immediately. So this is some of the symptoms of a society is on fire. People cannot eat, sleep, mate, or defend. So Prabhupada, feeling that urgency, like seeing a neighbor's house on fire, he worked tirelessly to produce these books, which immediately inspire Brahma Jigyasa. Will we reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada's marathon effort, his Herculean effort, by reading Srila Prabhupada's books and by distributing them to others? Prabhupada felt the urgency. Are we feeling the urgency as well? If we want to be followers of Srila Prabhupada, we should feel that same urgency that he did. Therefore, he was always saying, where is book? Where is book? Where is book? He wanted the devotees to produce the books, produce more books, to write more books also. Obviously, Srila Prabhupada's books are the gold standard. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that they're especially empowered. But he also wanted his followers to write, to produce more. This is the difference between human life and animal life. To inquire, to first understand how Brahman is present everywhere and how he is acting. That's what Prabhupada says in this purport. Who else can say that except for Srila Prabhupada? Who else can answer that question? The essential human question. Who else besides Srila Prabhupada can answer it flawlessly? How Brahman is present everywhere and how he is acting. Let's be honest. The other great religious traditions of the world, we highly respect them, but their capacity to answer that question, how Brahman is present everywhere and how he is acting, is limited. Their capacity is limited. Mostly it is dealing with rules and regulations within this material world. Who's allowed to mate with who? Srila Prabhupada is uniquely qualified to answer that question, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. And his books are our unique asset. And we should value them and appreciate them as such by reading them and distributing them. I wonder, dear devotees, if you've ever considered what is our unique asset in ISKCON? We don't have exclusive right to God, obviously, or even to Krishna. There are many other groups, of course, who chant Hare Krishna. It's not like ISKCON has a monopoly on Krishna, even if we might like anyone. And so many people around the world are chanting Hare Krishna. What is it that we have that's different from everybody else? It should be very clear, very obvious. Our unique asset is Srila Prabhupada's books, which are so powerful that it inspires Brahma Jigyasa even in people with a doggish mentality like me. Actually, by some strange arrangement, by some poor type of karma, I had read so much philosophy and theology in my teenage years and my youth. But reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita for the first time finally awakened that sense that this is the goal of life. Many of us have experienced this. Prabhupada, knowing full well that his books have that potency, put in so much effort to produce them. He wanted them perfectly polished and ready for mass distribution. He saw the urgency because society is on fire. But do we feel the same urgency now? And if not, can we claim to be Srila Prabhupada's follower? Do we feel the same urgency to read Srila Prabhupada's books daily, to distribute them? I'm not trying to get on anybody's case because I don't. And I'm feeling some transcendental shame about it, which is good. Prabhupada felt this urgency. That's why he would be up at night translating, why he'd be pushing for the distribution of his books. And then when someone would come back with a great report, right, Taraka Prabhu, someone would report to Srila Prabhupada, we distributed this many books in this place. This is the number of books. And what would Prabhupada say? Great. Now double it. Prabhupada wasn't just being mean, cracking the whip on everybody, just trying to make some money. But is seeing the urgency that this literature can really affect a revolution in the misdirected human society. That's in that preface to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Really felt that this can redirect human society. So our unique asset is Srila Prabhupada's books. I pray, dear devotees, that we all value that asset, cherish it by reading Prabhupada's books all the time, being so enthusiastic about them that we put them in the hands of other people as well, make them available to others in whatever capacity that we have, or support those who are distributing the books to others. And in this way, people can really claim to be human beings. Without such knowledge, one cannot claim to be a human being. Prabhupada says, rather, he remains in the animal kingdom. As it is said, sa eva gokara. Tasmad ekena manasa bhagavan sattvatam pati shrotavya kirtitavyascha dhyeya pujas cha nityata. This is what makes for human life. Ekena manasa, with one pointed attention, with one thing in the mind. Bhagavan sattvatam pati, always meditating on and inquiring about that Lord who is the protector of the devotees. That's Brahma Jigyasa. How is he acting? What is he doing? Shrotavya, always hearing about. Kirtitavyascha, always glorifying and chanting. Dhyeya, meditating upon, and pujas and worshipping. Cha nityada, eternally. That's what makes for a human. Not animal technology, but Bhagavan Sattvatam Pati. Shrotavya, always hearing, chanting, remembering, meditating on, worshipping that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the protector of all the devotees, the protector of all living entities. Srila Prabhupada's books are uniquely qualified to answer that question, Brahma Jigyasa, to inspire others, to inquire, to learn about, to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So let us take full advantage of our unique asset and read Srila Prabhupada's books every day. Hare Krishna. So that's all I have to say about this verse, a very short verse and purport. But I think that for some reason or other, inspired to remember how valuable are Srila Prabhupada's books, what they've done for all of us. Let's not forget. Let's keep them constantly in our consciousness by always reading. And if we really appreciate, then yes, we must distribute the books to others. So we can make some plans on how to do that. There's so many clever and wonderful ways. But if you're not so clever, then please just come and join us up in State College. Sometimes we set up a table and sit out there and distribute some books. And it's always wonderful. Hare Krishna. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Tarika Prabhu, you have anything you'd like to say about Srila Prabhupada's insistence on reading the books and distributing the books, making that available to others? Do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I would like to thank you for a wonderful and inspirational class and for your wonderful points, particularly the importance of reading Srila Prabhupada's books and distributing those books. That, of course, was Srila Prabhupada dedicated his life to the production of his books on the order of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. There are many other things he could have done, but he focused particularly on the production of these books for the benefit of his followers and for the benefit of the world, in service to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada performed extraordinary austerities to make the books available. I'm pleased that you mentioned Srila Prabhupada's sense of urgency, which was, in my opinion, one of his most defining characteristics. If you spent time around Srila Prabhupada, you could not overlook for a moment the sense of urgency that consumed him. You would be scorched by it. It was very, very intense. Sometimes hard to be around, scary even. Srila Prabhupada just wanted everything to happen immediately. He would become impatient and push us very, very hard. He pushed us very hard. He depended upon us to assist him, and he was apologetic sometimes, but he had to push very hard, and we worked really, really hard. It was an honor, a blessing, and a pleasure to serve Srila Prabhupada, but we really worked very hard. All of us, Srila Prabhupada and his followers as well, everyone pushed themselves to the utmost limits of their capacity. You mentioned the production of Chaitanya Charitamrita. That was an extraordinary marathon. It was unbelievable. The book production went on literally around the clock in 3 shifts. The devotees worked nonstop around the clock. Srila Prabhupada was producing his dictations at a rate that was incredibly fast, and no book production operation in the history of the world has ever been able to produce books at the rate at which Srila Prabhupada was producing his dictations. It had never been done, but he demanded that the devotees keep pace with him. It was extraordinarily difficult, really, really difficult. But as you say, there was this extraordinary
Yes. Oh,
uh, sense of urgency in Srila Prabhupada. Such urgency that I've told the story many times. It bears repetition, though, that Srila Prabhupada, in the time that I was with him, at least, he gave up sleeping completely. He
not
didn't
even
sleep.
2 hours at night?
No sleeping at night whatsoever. That I can say with utmost confidence. I was there every night. He did not sleep at night at all. During the day, sometimes he rested for an hour or two, but Srila Prabhupada's resting, that was when he chanted his japa. He would lie down with his japa mala in his bead bag and silently chant japa. But you could tell that he was awake and chanting because you he was, constantly rolling his beads, and you would hear the bead bags clicking again, the beads clicking against one another. He would shake his bead bag, and you would hear the beads knocking together. Srila Prabhupada was conscious and chanting. In Hyderabad, after the opening of the temple, there was a stretch of 5 days when unquestionably Srila Prabhupada was not sleeping at all, because for those 5 days, he was preaching all day long to various dignitaries. And so the period of time when he sometimes laid down and rested during the day was completely consumed with preaching. And so he was not resting during the day, and I was with him at night, and he was not resting at night. So just nonstop, nonstop preaching, incredible. And yet he remained sharp as a tack, and always had this incredible sense of urgency. Never wasted a moment. Every second, every fraction of a second, always engaged in service, preaching particularly. Um, his writing was um, done in the evening hours when there were no other distractions. During the daytime hours, he did other kinds of preaching. I never saw him do any translating work during the day, but in order to maximize his dictation time at night, he would begin immediately after Hari Sari finished setting up his room for the night. When Hari Sari left the room to take rest, Srila Prabhupada immediately began his dictation. So sometimes it was as early as 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., 12 p.m. It was not what you find in Hari Sari's diary. Hari Sari thought Srila Prabhupada was resting until maybe 12 or 1 a.m. But Hari Sari wasn't there to see what was going on because he went to take rest. Um, I saw Srila Prabhupada as soon as Hari Sari left the room. Srila Prabhupada immediately got up and went to his desk and began working. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to be sitting outside his door with my ear pressed to the crack of the door jamb, trying to hear Srila Prabhupada's dictations. It was a wonderful thing.
Yes. Prabhu, can I just
Incredible.
add about the Chaitanya Charitamrita production marathon that Srila Prabhupada wanted the seventh chapter of the Adi Leela to be published as a separate book even before everything else. And Devamrita Swami said that, well, actually, I don't know if perhaps Prabhupada felt that he might not finish it, but he did say that this particular chapter was very urgent, that it needed to be produced before, even before the rest of the Chaitanya Charitamrita was completed. So you rarely see it nowadays, but there is a separate book called Lord Chaitanya in Five Features. It's the Adi Leela, Chapter 7. And I think it's just another testament to that urgency that Srila Prabhupada felt about getting that knowledge out there, that he wanted this book, short book, made before everything else.
I think I still have a copy of that book.
Yes.
Um, and to my recollection, every chapter was published as a small book, um, and and for the same reason, Srila Prabhupada produced a Krishna book, summary study of the 10th canto, just to make sure that he got that out there in case he was not able to complete Srimad Bhagavatam and get through the 10th canto. And in fact, he only got through what I think 3 chapters of the 10th
13
canto.
chapters.
13. Okay, so um, yeah, he was very desperate to try to get as much information out as he possibly could. He tried to give us the essence. Um, there's so much literature, there's so much out there. Um, he couldn't give us everything, obviously, but he gave us what was most critical. So we are blessed to have that. And Srila Prabhupada worked so hard to produce it, we should absolutely not fail to take advantage. Um, to fail to take advantage, what a shame. You know, we have such a rare opportunity. We've been blessed with human birth. We have come in contact with the Vaishnavas. We have the opportunity to hear from Krishna's own emissary, Srila Prabhupada, presenting the essence of Lord Chaitanya's message in a way that is just suitable for us. Very, very rare opportunity, extremely rare. And if we don't take advantage of it, it's tragic, just tragic, terrible, shame. Um, if we do take advantage of it, the benefit is immense, immeasurable benefit in this life and the next. Wonderful. It will save us. It will empower us to save others. Such a
Jai,
wonderful thing. We can
Jai.
affect the solution to all of life's problems easily. Um,
Yes. So, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, which means attend Bhagavatam class every day. That's my translation. So yes, Prabhupada has made it very easy for us, and we should just get in the habit. And the easiest way to be in the habit, of course, is to attend Bhagavatam class. We know we're always hearing, discussing Srila Prabhupada's books every day at 7 in the morning. Thank you
sometimes,
for your... Oh, sorry,
oh,
Tarka Prabhu.
yeah, sometimes devotees have difficulty to maintain the discipline of reading. Um, I recommend very highly that you uh, find a partner or several over Zoom or WhatsApp or whatever, or in person, get together with other individuals. Um, the company of others provides additional support. It makes it easier to maintain the practice in a regulated way. And reading with others, you'll find that you get more out of the reading. Um, it's just much more beneficial. So if you have that kind of difficulty trying to read regularly, just find someone, settle on a particular book, and just get together and read on a regular basis. If one day you're feeling a little weak or lazy, your partner will give you a little push, and um, you cooperate with one another to get through it. It's a very powerful process. That's my recommendation.
Jai. Thank you for the night's tip, Prabhu, echoing the words of Lord Kapila Dev, who said, what is it? Rasayanam Kata, that yes, talks about the Lord in the association of devotees is full of flavor. Rasayanam Kata. I can't remember the shloka now. Thank you, Prabhu. Uh, if there are no other questions or comments, we can wrap up unless anybody else wants to say something about the glories of Srila Prabhupada's books, or you just want to go right now and read some. That's also fine.
Here's something quick.
Yes, Prabhu.
Srila Prabhupada told us that we could worship his books
Hmm.
for devotees
Yes.
who are traveling or for preaching centers and so on. You can take one of Srila Prabhupada's books, place it on the altar, and worship it just as you would a deity.
Yes. We used to do that in traveling Sankirtan in New Zealand. We'd make our Boga offerings to the Bhagavatam set. Um, and do the arati to the Bhagavatam set, to the front cover of the first canto. Puranarko dinoditaha. Man, missing all my shlokas today. But of course, Sutta Goswami says that the Lord has gone to his abode and taken knowledge and religiousness with him. Where will the people go for shelter? But this sun-like Purana is the... What is that verse? Remember that verse, Tarka Prabhu? Puranarko dinoditaha. Sorry, I just have to remember it. And then I'll let Anandini Lalita say something. Arka. Do you know that verse? Krishne
We,
svadham pagate dharma gyana dibisaha kalau nashtra dishamesha puranarko dinodita.
yes, brilliant as the sun.
Right. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So this Purana is Krishna. We can worship it. We can worship the Srimad Bhagavatam set. Anyway, just piggybacking after your point, Taraka Prabhu. Would you like to say something, Anandini, Lalita, Devidasi, Mataji,
Haribo, thank you for the
Wifeji?
class. Yashadeva Prabhu. I just wanted to also add that I think in the last couple of days and today, devotees in Russia, they celebrating 55th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada coming to Soviet Union and staying only 5 days in Moscow in a hotel where he met two people, the professor, Indologist Katovsky, and then Anatoly, who of course became the first disciple of Prabhupada. And everybody's so astonished, and I'm so astonished that it only was 5 days of association with Prabhupada. And now we see how Krishna consciousness just completely spread like a forest fire in those countries, ex-USSR countries. And it's so popular and it's so active and unstoppable, I would say. But of course, I just wanted to add about the books that we can guess confidently that it was the power of Srila Prabhupada's books that somehow got in there illegally, like Devamrita Swami was sharing yesterday, how they smuggled Bhagavad Gitas in the tractor truck. And because people were so thirsty for this knowledge, because it was unavailable and not offered anywhere and prohibited, they developed such greed and desire to read anything and something. And then Prabhupada's books were there, and it was like the fresh water in the desert, for all of this spiritually starving people of Soviet Union, where God was not allowed. But the books planted all the seeds in so many devotees, and now they just, changing the world. So just wanted to say how powerful they are. And even a few days of association of Prabhupada and one disciple, it was enough. Like, what is the power of bhakti? How incredible. And here we are sometimes thinking, oh, we need this and we need that and more conditions and more solutions so we can talk about Krishna with somebody. But actually, it's so natural for the souls to serve Krishna. Just have to remind people on that. Thank you for the class. Haribol.
Right. Thank you, Anandini, Lalita. Yeah, we need some of that forest fire in America again. Yes, Tarika Prabhu, take us home.
Are you in a rush? Do you have to go?
There are many things to do. Yes, I got to fly to California today.
Wow. I wish you a safe flight.
Thank you.
Real quickly, since we're now on the topic of Russia, Soviet Union at the time.
Yes, Prabhu, I think you've muted yourself somehow.
Oh, yeah,
There you go.
I had a friend, a devotee, who was traveling between the U.S. and India via Moscow. He had in his possession a third volume of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in his baggage. At the time, the Soviet Union was very careful about the dissemination of religious literature. It was basically outlawed, very strictly outlawed. You could do jail time if you were found in the possession of certain types of literature. And so he had a layover in Moscow, um, disembarked the plane with a shoulder bag in which he had Srimad Bhagavatam, and he decided to wander around the airport a little bit. Had to go through customs. They went through his bag and discovered his Bhagavatam, and the mood suddenly changed, became very somber. One fellow grabbed this devotee by the arm and led him down a hallway to a big steel door. And they went through that doorway and then down a bunch of steps to a sub basement and more hallways and more steel doors, eventually to some very private room where the door was shut and locked. And the individual turned to the devotee and held up the Bhagavatam and said, "How much you want for this book?" That's
And
my
then?
story. Hare Krishna. And of course, the devotee gave him the book.
Oh, glorious. So, in conclusion, Srila Prabhupada's books are wonderful. We all know that, but we can be reminded by reading the books, by distributing the books, by remembering Srila Prabhupada's urgency to produce and distribute the books. Let us take advantage of our unique asset, our valuable asset, and in this way increase our spiritual net worth by increasing the number of Srila Prabhupada's books that are distributed. The Panchatattva broke open the storehouse of love of Krishna, and the more they tasted that love of Krishna, the more it grew and expanded. So similarly, the more we taste the Srila Prabhupada's books, reading them and appreciating them, the more it will actually increase, and others will get more and more as well. That's the nature of spiritual energy, that the more you consume it, actually the more it increases, which is the opposite of the material energy. Anyway, thank you, dear devotees, for tuning in for Bhagavatam class. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Haribol.